Okay, thank you. Welcome, Mr. Nabil.
Welcome, Heba. I wish you success.
I'm glad that you have attended my session. I hope that you will continue till the end.
Okay. Yes, most welcome, Mr. Nabil.
Welcome.
So, Dr. Amani, please, can you enable sharing because you're unblocked?
It's already enabled. So try again.
So the presentation is clear? Can you see it?
Yes, it's very clear.
Okay, shall you start the recording?
It's already recording.
Okay, hello everybody. This is RELO Mentors program session. And this is me, Heba Eldayem. As you see from my CV or my personal details, I'm English teacher working for Azhar. I'm ATTP teacher educator, and for those who don't know, the ATTP, it's a teacher training program offered and supervised by the British Council. I'm a PhD researcher at Faculty of Education Ain Shams University, and my research interests these days are 21st century skills. Recently, I participated at the RELO Mentor program, so we are the mentors of 2020. For conference speaking, I gave 2 presentations in Nile Tussle and 1 for ILS, which is the International Language Assessment Conference, also offered by the AUC. Are you ready? Okay. So as you see, our presentation for today, it's called Socratic Seminars, Flipping the Reading Classroom. And if you attended Dr. Amani's session, it was a wonderful session. And she presented the theoretical background of the topic. And my task for today is to offer you some practical ideas about how to flip the classroom for reading. So I hope that you will enjoy it and you find it related to your teaching context. At first, I'd like you to complete this sentence. Teaching is much more than good. The first word starts with C and the second starts with D. Please use a chat box. Okay.
Can you repeat the question, please?
These are the 2 words. Okay, nobody.
Can you repeat the question?
Can you see the slide?
Yes.
Someone asked you to repeat the question.
I will finish the first one. Teaching is much more content delivery. So who can explain this sentence? And this will be through the microphone. This is not a chat task. Who's ready for that? Okay, let's check the participants. No raising hands.
Hello, Dr. Heba.
Okay, Mr. Ahmed Hawater?
Yes, I'm with you.
Yes, could you please raise your voice or try to adjust your mic?
Okay, so teaching is much more than good content delivery. So as teachers, we don't just teach something, teach a grammar or vocabulary. So this is content. So teaching is much more than that. I think it means something related to how to help students communicate.
Perfect.
Yes. So some things that other than content delivery. So like communication, like working together, working in pairs, how to accept each other, and many things like that.
Yes, I will build on your ideas. You started from teaching English. It was about teaching in general, but you got to the point. Content, it's not only grammar or vocabulary, as you said. We use teaching to help students communicate using the language. You spoke about group work, which means they will interact together. And you spoke about acceptance also, which means that you will develop their social and personal skills. That's great. Are there any other responses? Anybody would like to share his ideas about this? We have only one speaker for this task. One another speaker, okay?
Hello, everyone. I'm Zaki. Okay,
Yes, Mr. Zaki.
I'm glad to be here for the first time. And I think teaching, yeah, it's much more than content delivery. It should be, we should focus much more on how we actually deliver the content. Because in basic teaching classrooms, or long time ago, maybe 10 years ago, or even until now, the teacher is like has much time to talk, and the students have much more time to listen. So the focus of the class was just teacher centered and content delivery. I want to deliver this content to the students, and that's it. So it's absolutely wrong idea, and that's why the government wants to make a flip classroom to change the style, to make it.
Okay, we haven't moved to this point yet, thank you. But you have offered a great idea about when you focus only on delivering the content, this is teacher-centered instruction. And it's focused on lecturing all the time, or the teacher who talks all the time. So the second sentence, and it's much easier, pedagogy. Pedagogy is the science of teaching. It's the big framework for teaching. Should always drive, not the other way around. Okay, chat box. Chat box first.
What is the meaning of pedagogy?
Drive. Sorry. Okay, there was somebody spoke, but I didn't hear the question.
Please, what is the name of pedagogy?
Pedagogy means the science of teaching. Pedagogy, it's bigger than methodology, which means that the framework of teaching. And sometimes it's related to politics. For example, the policy of education in country. It's connected more to pedagogy. You can say teaching if you don't like the word. Teaching should always drive. A word with T. Technology, perfect. So what is the meaning of this statement? And this is very important these days. Okay, waiting for raising hands.
Yes, can I add something?
Okay, Mr. Ahmed.
So teaching should always drive technology. I think this means we should use technology to facilitate teaching and to help us when we teach, not vice versa.
Perfect.
Yes. So we should not use technology just to seem to be knowledgeable about technology.
Okay, that's great. Maybe you will notice that some teachers care about learning about different tools, and that's perfect. But don't make the digital tool take the whole time. What's most important is to how to use each tool for teaching English or to facilitate teaching English, as you said. That's perfect. So pedagogy should always drive technology, not the other way around. As you see in these pictures, the type of learning that we were using in the past before the pandemic, the face-to-face learning, and also we practiced online learning and teaching. Which type of learning is more effective, according to your experience during the last few months?
Can I say?
Okay.
I think
Who's speaking, please?
my name is Riham.
Okay, welcome, Ms. Riham. Go on.
Thank you. I think face-to-face learning is more effective because we interact with students and they do activities and games. I like it more than online learning.
So you find the interaction is better
Yes.
in face-to-face learning? And what about the games? Don't you have any digital games?
I do, but I think some students cannot use technology well. They waste their time. They just use the mobile to play, not to learn.
Okay, perfect. I received good responses on the chat, especially from Mr. Said Sahlul. He said it has merits and demerits, or good and bad points. Perfect. Is there anybody would like to share any other ideas or the opposite opinion if you have it? Or if you have a balanced view?
Raise the hand. There are the raise the hand.
Okay, no, raise the hand. So please, who's there? Yes, Miss Dalia. Welcome, Miss Dalia, to the session. Miss Dalia, hello. She can't hear me. Mr. Ahmed Abdel Gawad.
Hello?
Yes, Miss Dalia. Sorry, Mr. Ahmed. Hello, Miss Dalia.
Hello, Ms. Heba. Thank you. I think online learning for primary stages or elementary stage is very inconvenient because children to express themselves by using English. We can use face-to-face learning. It's very easier for them to learn and to have information and to play, to make rules. It can create their character and their love to the English language. But online learning, just to listen to someone who is talking, I think it's not efficient or convenient to small stages.
Okay, perfect. I like the balanced view that says that each one of this has positive points and negative points. So in face-to-face learning, of course, it's wonderful, but it takes time. It implies a lot of interaction and students learn a lot and you can assess them very easily, but it's time consuming. And maybe there is a problem for larger classes with face-to-face interaction or learning. In online learning, just as Ms. Dalia said, they can also assess, but it's much difficult or little difficult. You can't have games, you can't have a lot of movements. So of course, you know, flipped is that you put the plus between the two pictures. You practice the online learning and you practice the face-to-face learning at the same time. Flipped learning, it's a type of blended learning, but in the order from left to right, you work with technology first, and then you move to your classroom. So to make it closer, flipped classroom in practice and In this session, again, I'm not going to give a lot of details about the theory. We will work with practical ideas, how to do it in class. Out of class, like you say, students read a text or watch a video. They always connect the flipped classroom with a video, but it's not a video, it's all the open resources on the internet. So if you send your student a PDF file, or maybe a worthwhile website like BBC English or Voice of America or something like this, they can also use it for flipping. So students work alone, you don't deliver the content, or you deliver the content via a video. In class, they do the learner-centered collaborative activities. And here I'd like to focus on one of the misconceptions that teachers say these days. There will be no learning this year because of flipping. This is what some teachers say. They think when they go to the classroom and they practice the activities, they have no role. And of course, this is not right. You will facilitate the interaction between group. You will guide the students. You will provide the scaffolding all the time. So this is flipping very simply. Work alone at home and then come to class and interact with your friends. What are the questions that you would like to know about flipped classroom? So please use the chat box again. Okay, waiting. There is a question from Ms. Riham about a certificate of attendance, but unfortunately the RELO Azhar does not offer certificates. But what are the questions about flipped classroom? Hello, Ms. Fatma. How can teachers deliver different skills via flipped classroom? Perfect. But today we will work on reading only, so this question is not to be included. What is flipped classroom? I think, Mr. Ahmed, I told you what it is before this slide. How can we apply the methodology? What is flipped classroom? How can teachers participate? Okay, perfect. So I have 4 questions for today. How is the content delivered via a video? So would you like just to open your cam and speak and then give it to your students? So we will speak about content delivery. How can the teacher make sure that students have watched the video? You will find this in your classroom this year. You will go to class and ask them, have you watched this video? And you will find most of them say no. How can you make sure that happened? What type of activities do students do in class? Also, this is very important. So we said it's learner-centered and collaborative. Of course, we need some examples. How will the students be assessed before and after class? So for today, you will assess the students before class and after class. Okay. So why is it called flipped? Of course, you have seen the funny pictures on Facebook these days, and teachers are upside down. And would you make us do kinesthetic movement or unusual kinesthetic movement in class? Of course, this is not correct. What you flip is not the teacher or the student. You flip Bloom taxonomy. And of course, you know that Bloom is widely used from the 50s till now. And even if there are new strategies every day, Bloom is still the hero till this moment. What's normal in the non-flipped classroom? The teacher starts with remembering and understanding in class. If the teacher would like to work on the higher levels, maybe he cannot finish all the activities for the higher levels, or the activities for the higher level are given at homework. And when they are given as homework, you cannot ensure students learn them deeply. Maybe students cannot correct themselves, or they cannot work on their mistakes for the coming lessons. So why is it flipped? Because remembering and understanding will be done before class, through technology, through the videos, through the reading text. So students will do it for themselves. They will remember and understand. And when they come to class, they work from applying to creating. So if we see how I did it, or how we are going to do it today, before class, they will read the text and watch the video. And this will offer them the remembering and understanding levels. And when they come to class, they work in something called Socratic seminars. If you heard it or not, you will get all the details about it today. So again, reading and watching, this is the lower levels, will be done at home. And in class, we will work on the hot or the higher order thinking skills in a Socratic seminar. So I'm not a professional technology user. And I know that there are a lot of teachers like me and they don't know how to make a video. So I thought about how to make a video in a very simple way. Of course, we have an engineer today, Mr. Zaki, if you are here, an engineer and English teacher. Maybe he will have advanced options for this, but this is the simplest way. When you make a video, you can use your PowerPoint presentation. You will insert an audio or a screen recording, but I don't like that for me, or I found it a little difficult. My favorite way of making a video is using Zoom. Can you see the orange icon here? It's a new meeting. Of course, in Zoom, you will join a meeting if you are a participant like today, or you schedule a meeting if you are the presenter or the host. But new meeting here, you will click on that, and then you will find the screen of Zoom. You will share a screen, put your PowerPoint, and start a video. And of course, it will be recorded like this one. It's a Zoom session without participants. Again, the simplest way to make a video, new meeting, the orange icon, share a screen from Zoom, share your PowerPoint, and start to make comments. This is technically, and I don't like to spend much time on that because we will work on our focus, which is reading, Socratic, and the flipping. After you finish the video, it's important to share it. And if you have a YouTube channel like me, I have 7 subscribers. I didn't know who are they to thank them. I have only 2 videos because the channel is new. So when you share it on YouTube, what is the benefit of that? You can send the video via Messenger, via WhatsApp. But why is it important to use an application like YouTube or any website that has some comments? How can you use the comments? Is it difficult? Yes, it's available for learners at any time. But what can you do, Miss Amani, with the comments option? What type of comments your students will make? Feedback, perfect. To let the students watch the class. Yes, of course they will watch the video before class. Wait for just 1 minute. Get feedback. Okay, my idea for that, you will include a discussion question in the video and encourage learners to make comments. So here, you delivered the content explicitly. It was, of course, teacher-centered, but to make sure that students understood what you delivered is to have a discussion question. They will make comments, they will reply to each other, and of course, you will check that they have watched the video, and of course, this is a kind of assessment. Is it okay, this part? Okay. Before we are working on reading comprehension skills, and at the same time, I have the Azhar from my part. So we will have a moment of silence, use the chat book and write any skill of reading. Any skill that you know of reading comprehension. Scan. Perfect. Just is the main idea. Summary. Just reading. Okay, great. I like all your responses. The gist, which is the main idea, the details, skimming, scanning. Let me remember because I closed the chat box. Making predictions, inferring, evaluating, critical thinking. But there is something called critical reading also. Not only critical thinking. I'd like if there is anybody who has a mic on because it seems to be confusing and noisy, please. Oh, I seen that I used a painter or a notation. How can I erase it? Clear. Okay. So here you will find that I prefer to present reading comprehension in levels. It has 5 levels, not only 4. The literal is the one that works with main idea or specific details, or you can say the gist. The literal comprehension is very easy for most students. And of course, you know that they like just to underline the answer and to put the number of the question. This is the easiest type that everybody's familiar with. The inferential, and sometimes it's called interpretive. To practice inference, you have the text and your background knowledge. And you use your background knowledge to know what doesn't the author tell you. Like word meaning in context. You know all the words, but you have one word which is new. So your background knowledge of the old words will help you to know the new word. Cause and effect, and that helps in stories. When a character does a certain action and you don't know why. So you use background knowledge of life. The author's message. Sometimes the author does not tell us directly what is behind reading, what is the message to the reader. For critical comprehension, what is fact and what's opinion, that's very important, or to evaluate the text according to internal or external criteria. And we mean here by external criteria, this is for advanced learners or for adults, like if they evaluate the style of writing. But for preparatory and secondary stage, they work on the internal criteria more, like does this action right or wrong in your own culture, for example. The creative comprehension, you will produce new ideas that the author did not tell you. Like if the text is about pollution or global warming, and you will produce new ideas. So this is a quick background on reading. Maybe it will help us when we work on the other parts. Socratic seminar, and I have chosen to start with it very quickly or very early because I'd like your opinion. Do you find it difficult or easy? It's a dialogue. Students are set in a circle. It's based on inquiry. And we mean by inquiry that students ask each other questions, they answer, and they build on the questions. So for example, student A asks a question, student B answers, and then student C asks another question based on the answer of student B. It seems quick, complicated, but do you find it easy or difficult in your classroom that students speak together, ask a lot of questions, build on the questions of each other? Easy or difficult? It depends on a student's level. I didn't get it. Again, for Ms. Riham, it's a circle, a dialogue. Students ask each other questions, they answer the questions, and they build more questions. They generate more questions, more ideas all the time. Difficult or easy? Just one word. It will be easier by the time means it will take practice. That's okay, but what are the challenges? What will you find difficult when you implement a Socratic seminar? Grammar mistakes. Yes, but it's not here about grammar. Lack of language, this is one of the challenges. What else? Flow of ideas. Ms. Sabrine, I think you mean they don't have a lot of ideas. Perfect. You will have the example. Management, perfect. I think Mr. Ahmed means classroom management. Yes, classroom management, lack of language, lack of ideas, cooperation, critical thinking, perfect. Cooperation, so your students lack these skills, and this may make Socratic seminar difficult. Learner differences, okay. So I like your ideas. So the question now, and please be careful of this question because we will ask it again at the end of the session. How may flipping the classroom improve students' performance in a Socratic seminar? Again, so how can we use flipped classroom to improve the performance in a Socratic seminar? How can we make the Socratic seminar easier for students through flipping?
Yes, Dr. Heba?
I don't want the answer. Thank you, sorry. Okay, so these are the steps. Mr. Ahmed, the task at the end will be to provide the steps that we have followed to achieve this, okay? So let's start with designing the video. And the video very simply will be taken from this book. It's a Hello for Secondary Stage. It has been recently issued and you can find it on Facebook. Unit 4, Change in English, Lesson 1, page 43.
Dr.
Your
Heba, if you
video,
please,
yes?
if you please, we would like to tell you that we are about to end the first session. Please, let's cut this at this point and come back using the same link.
Okay, but please, I'd like also to remind everybody, please fill the form provided, fill your details and the email.
Okay.
Maybe we will invite you for coming session in the future.
Okay. See you.
So